How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another dive video. Some of this footage is comprised of a couple of dives, so some of the colors and depth may be different on some, but just compiling some of the dive footage that I had left over and also giving you some of the stuff that me and Maro got. First up, I actually found a rock mover wrasse up in the shallows. Rock mover wrasse, or Tenorius, and they're a very cool fish, in my opinion. The reason I actually first saw this dude is because he picked a rock up out of its mouth and he actually spit it, and I saw the rock fall, and I was like, hey, that looks a little bit familiar. And then sure enough, it was a rock mover wrasse, and I've been trying to get one of these guys on film for a good amount of time now, just because I think, it is so cool that they literally just pick up rocks with their mouths and just spit them out. I think it's a very cool adaptation, a good hunting mechanism. I'm not too sure if they build nests. I know the Titan triggerfish really like to do that. But another really cool thing about these rock mover wrasse are that they actually there's one of those types of fish species that look completely different than their adult form when they are juveniles. And I was actually able to get some juvenile footage, such as right here, when me and Mario were diving together, so I just decided to put these couple clips here together. But yeah, looks totally different and a really cool find. Next up, I was just filming this clam here, pretty clam. Then I actually saw a trumpet fish off to the left over here. If you remember in last week's video, you will remember that we saw a cornet fish, and this is the type of fish that people thought that they saw just because of the long, slender body. But as you can see here, compared to last week's video, this guy looks pretty different when it comes to the amount of coloration it has and just the thickness of the body. They're actually pretty closely related to seahorses as well, and I think I spook him here in a second or two. But a very cool fish, trumpet fish, or Allostomus chinesis. And yeah, they're actually ambush predators, so they will shoot out their mouth and catch little victims like that. And then next up, we're in a little deeper area. I found an orange spotted grouper, or Epinephelus coides, and these guys can be mainly identified by the tan and gray H-shaped figures on their sides. That's how I was able to figure out what this guy was. And the camera doesn't really show it that well since it's a little deep, but they do actually have orange spots on them. And then next up here, I know I've shown a good amount of spine cheek anemone fish on here, but I pass this anemone every single time when I'm on guided dives. I show it to all of my students. It's a real keystone spot in this dive site, just because it is a decent sized anemone. I don't think I zoom out on it, but it is a pretty big anemone, and I thought it was just the one anemone fish in there, but I actually saw later on that there was another one in the lower left. It looked like a little bit younger, either the male or female. They are heterosexually dimorphic. Just can't tell with that one, but I just love anemone fish. I think they're so cute. I think they're such a staple in just the fish world, with all Finding Nemo and stuff like that. So, can never be mad at seeing an anemone fish. They're just absolutely adorable in their little houses. And then I was actually able to find this Slender Grouper, or Eniperodon leucogrammicus, and I've never seen them before, not one of these guys, and you might be a little surprised that groupers are pretty small. Usually you only see like Goliath groupers and stuff like that, which are some of the biggest fish in the ocean. But yeah, they can actually get much smaller than even this Slender Grouper right here. And then this little guy. Then we have a dancing sea slug. I loved finding this guy. This species in particular is Deuterilla grisalis, and yeah, he was just bobbing his head up and down, chilling across this little sandy patch. Yeah, he was just an absolute vibe and such a joy to see. And then, speaking of sea slugs, I'm gonna need a little help on this one here, guys. Me and Mariel saw a good amount of these on our 2 boat trips, and I just don't know what it is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's a type of sea slug, but I'm honestly not too sure. I cannot figure it out, no matter how much research I do. So if you guys could help me out in the comments section down below on this one, that would be greatly appreciated. And finally, guys, this is a real treat that we have up here in northern Australia. This is the Bumphead Parrotfish. In particular, this is the green Bumphead Parrotfish, or the Bulbometapon muricatum. And these guys are just so bad. I love seeing Bumphead Parrotfish. It may look like this guy's trying to nip at this little fish, but he's actually attacking some coral right there, so he's not trying to eat the fish. They are gentle giants. I have heard stories about people getting rammed by them because in their mating season they can actually be pretty vicious towards each other. The males will slam their heads into each other, and it sounds like somebody slapping 2 bricks together underwater. I've seen videos of it, and it is absolutely insane. So I recommend you go check out these guys, but I've never ran into any problems with these when it comes to like ramming at you. So I guess it's just a myth, but who knows, it might be something that happens. But mainly they're gentle giants. I love seeing Bumphead Parrotfish. They're always a treat for my students and the tourists to see, just because they are so massive. And yeah, they can get up to like 1.5 meters or about 4.5 feet, and up to 70 kilograms or a whole 150 pounds. They can either be found going like solo, like I found this guy. Really good to just show you the colors of them. But they can also be found in schooling. They're mainly found in schooling, so I was able to capture this really cool shot when me and Mariel jumped in on one of our. As soon as we jumped in, I saw this and I screamed at her through my regulator and I booked it. But yeah, they're an absolute treat to see. I love looking at these guys. They can be pretty scary running into at night when you run into a school of them, mainly because there can just be so many of them. They literally block out your light, and that's all that you see is just a never-ending school of Bumphead Parrotfish. So it's very, very cool, but very startling if that's just one of the first things that you look up at. So yeah, I love looking at Bumphead Parrotfish. They are majestic and beautiful creatures, even though that one's literally ruined my entire shot, but that's what you get for filming in the wild. But other than that, guys, that is pretty much going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you guys are liking this dive content. Lets me know if you want to keep seeing this kind of stuff. And other than that, I will see you guys in the next one.